Let's climb into a time machine and move back in time. You're 14 years old again, sitting in a classroom and waiting for the teacher to return last week's maths test. You're pretty nervous because you didn't really understand the questions and only have a hazy idea of the concept you were supposed to master. Your paper arrives on your desk. And yes, indeed, it's covered in red ink. No suggestions, no helpful hints, just crossings out. Your time machine teacher grins evilly and flexes his ruler. Now let's ask, how is that for feedback? Will it help you get better at maths? Clearly something is missing. Useful feedback doesn't just tell you what you got wrong or right. There's a lot more to it. Let's take a look. We'll start with feedback for learning. The phrase implies that feedback should be linked to student learning processes. It follows that feedback should foster these learning processes. Here, two things are important. Feedback should tell students where they are in relation to the learning objectives. 2. Feedback should tell students what they still need to do to achieve the learning objectives. Let's look at an example. One of the learning objectives in a statistics course might be being able to perform a factor analysis on SPSS. Imagine that the students are stuck in the middle of a factor analysis. In this situation, your feedback should tell them exactly where they stand in relation to the whole factor analysis process. Your feedback should also tell them what analysis steps are now needed to perform a complete factor analysis. If you compare this with the feedback on your teenage maths test, it's obvious that we're talking about two completely different types of feedback. The only information you got from the maths test was that your answers were wrong. This does nothing for your learning process. You know nothing about which steps were false, where the mistake was, or what you could do to get things right. And you know what? Without that information, or in other words, without that feedback, the problem may crop up again and again. So a preliminary definition of effective feedback might be: feedback is a process where learners get useful information about their performance, which enhances the quality of their work and their learning strategies. Up to now, feedback has focused mostly on content. However, good feedback will also help students to improve at the personal level. When you give feedback, you're also providing perceptions of someone's performance, behavior, or learning strategies which may improve their self-awareness. The Joe-Harry window model, created by psychologists Joseph Luft and Harrington Ingham in 1955, is based on 4 quadrants, like windows in older houses. Let's go through these quadrants counterclockwise. Things you know about yourself and are willing to share are part of your arena. Here, people can build mutual trust by giving and receiving information about themselves. Things you know about yourself but might not want others to know might be in your facade. Then there are the things that neither you nor anyone else knows about you. They are in the unknown quadrant. Finally, things that you are not aware of but others see are in your blind spot. Simply put, feedback from others can make you aware of your positive and negative traits as perceived by others, and ideally helps you to overcome personal issues that may be holding you back. Feedback is also an opportunity for personal growth if it's given in a supportive atmosphere and focuses on learners' personal development. It's crucial to note that feedback on personal aspects is always based on observation. It's therefore neither true nor false, but based on individual perceptions. That's why you must always express personal feedback in sentences beginning with I. As in, I had the impression that you didn't notice the reaction of the audience during your presentation. This contrasts with, you were very focused on your presentation. Another function of feedback is indeed to increase motivation. Motivation drives human behavior. If feedback is to motivate student learning, students must see that it will help them achieve their learning objectives. To be motivating, it must therefore visibly further the learning process and underpin the learning objectives. Feedback also works on a personal level. If students reveal where they are currently having difficulties, the consequent feedback will help them to move forward. This not only helps them with course content, it also shows them a way to influence their own learning. Finally, let's see what John Hattie has to say. He's famous for quantifying the effect of various factors on learning. In his view, effective feedback should answer 3 questions. 1. How am I doing? Or feedback, knowledge and insights on the current situation. 2. Where am I going? Or feed up, knowledge and insights on the desired situation. 3. Where next? Or feed forward, knowledge and insights on how to close the gap. Let's climb back into the time machine. This time, go forward. Now, you're 70, sitting at your desk and remembering what it was like to teach at ETH. Imagine what you could tell your younger self. But be careful not to create a spatio-temporal feedback loop that annihilates the entire universe.